Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we're talking last night's AEW Dynamite, but we also got some news, some backstage reports about the latest on Money in the Bank, which is coming up this week. And of course, Saturday at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, 8 p.m. in the UK, where it's going to be going down. We will be live right here on the YouTube, youtube.com/Steven Larson, or on the Twitch, twitch.tv/Steven Larson. It's either or. If you guys want to be on the YouTube, you can be there. If you want to be on the Twitch, you can be there until they find out and they stop letting us do that.
Well,
it is two different presentations because you stream and I stream, so it's two different
presentations. My stream looks completely different than yours.
Exactly. So be sure to join us for that. Right now, our predictions are available at the Friendo Club Wrestling channel. It's also available out there in the audio realm. If you're listening to us in the audio realm, do us a solid. Leave us a rating, review, or a comment. Let's talk Money in the Bank before we get into our AEW Dynamite review.
Guess is Money in the Bank going to be
or nana?
All right, so up until Logan Paul announced that he had got himself, into the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, it seemed like it was either LA Knight or Damian Priest.
Nana.
Gosh, match to lose. But according to Worked Wrestling, seems like there might be three men now in contention to be Mr. Money in the Bank, with the outlet saying, quote, while LA Knight and Damian Priest are the current favorites to win the upcoming Money in the Bank match, there have been internal pitches to give the win to Logan Paul. Some feel that Paul holding the briefcase would bring publicity and put more eyes on the company. Meanwhile, Better Wrestling Experience reported, quote, Triple H doesn't want Logan Paul to win Money in the Bank. There were a few discussions of Logan Paul to feud with LA Knight.
Yeah.
But Fightful Select reports that, quote, we've heard rumblings that a Brawling Brutes Logan Paul program was discussed for after Money in the Bank.
So like Sheamus versus Logan Paul?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they do have they've got three. We discussed this on our predictions. We discussed it the other day on the show. We've discussed this a lot. There are three very, very good cases to be made here. One of which I think is the tops, and that's what's going to work best for the stories, and that's Damian Priest, clearly. There is what's going to get the biggest pop, and clearly that's LA Knight, and then maybe you can figure out what to do with him after the fact if they decide that he is true like world championship material. If he's going to cash in successfully, they can't keep on giving us cash in duds like they did last year with Austin Theory.
Yeah.
And so, and then of course there's Logan Paul, who arguably might be in terms of exposure, but there's also, we've talked about this as well. And I don't know if WWE cares about this, but liability issues, the guy, he sort of enjoys courting controversy from time to time. And I'm not sure if that would be, something you'd want, because then you're presented with a conundrum. If something happens, you got to get that briefcase off. Right. So yeah, kind of interesting if this is true, if Worked Wrestling, or what is it? Is it still Worked Wrestling or is it Better Wrestling Experience?
No, the Worked Wrestling and Better Wrestling Experience are two different.
Those are different
outlets.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, here's something to consider, though.
Mm-hmm.
What if Logan Paul does win?
Mm-hmm.
And then the program with LA Knight, and then afterwards Sheamus is a situation where he's defending the briefcase.
That'd be cool. I'd like that. It'd be a change of pace for the Money in the Bank. We talked about this also on yesterday's QA episode. I think that'd be an awesome change of pace where somebody has to regularly, or at least on premium live events, defend their Money in the Bank briefcase. I think that'll add an awesome wrinkle to it. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they might not like that. It's like, oh no, it's not guaranteed anymore, but they can motivate it either by story or what have you. People can goad. Like Mr. Kennedy was manipulated into putting it up against Edge.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's if you look at the betting odds, the three people on top of the betting odds for the men's Money in the Bank are in order as of I think yesterday. It's LA Knight, Logan Paul, and Damian Priest, and there's a huge gap after that before the rest of the field.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see those betting odds kind of move around quite a bit over the next couple days until Money in the Bank Saturday. And until we know what happens on SmackDown, if there's some sort of men's Money in the Bank summit there, where we get some ideas, some measure of go home math. Till then, seems like it's anybody of those three men, anybody's match to win at this point.
I still sort of think, like, my gut tells me that this was Damian Priest. Like, he was sort of penciled in. If there is still some ambiguity, if there is still, like, debate going on and they actually don't know, which would kind of surprise me, but with Vince there, who knows? But given that Priest was left out of the initial sort of informal summit that they had, that he's been taking losses lately, which sometimes can, foretell.
A precursor, yeah.
Right, yeah, a Money in the Bank win. Seth and Finn having a program leading into this for a World Heavyweight Championship match. You would think, and on top of that, reports that WWE management really likes everybody in Judgment Day. They like what they've been doing. It would seem that Priest, all evidence would suggest that Priest is the guy that's penciled in, and that LA Knight, due to his rising popularity and management finally discovering that and appreciating it maybe, might be a guy who's, working his way up and causing some doubts. And then you never know with Logan Paul, that's always probably something that they could see as a positive as well.
I mean, based on that first informal summit when Logan Paul stated he was going to be in the match, I mean, you can use LA Knight's insults towards Logan Paul as the kind of genesis if there's a feud between them heading into SummerSlam.
Sure, yeah.
And while I'd be surprised if LA Knight won that particular match, it is a high-profile bout for him. And he's going to get himself super over.
Yeah.
Just hurling insults at Logan Paul. And whenever Logan Paul tries to respond, it's just going to bounce off LA Knight.
And you got to wonder, because I'm sort of with you in that, Logan Paul seems to take nothing but losses. Lately. But, come on. He's had matches against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, Yeah. You would think that, LA Knight is the kind of guy that Logan Paul could win against. But maybe not.
Maybe not.
If especially, like you said, on the road to that match, the promos are all going to be LA Knight just killing the guy. Just absolutely kill. There's nothing Logan Paul can say to LA Knight that's going to stick. Nothing.
No.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know that, Logan Paul, he's going to need, if he's going to stick around, he's got to have some wins against somebody. Even if it's like, hey, show up for a couple of SmackDowns or show up for a couple of Raws.
Yeah, have a match with Ricochet. Yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah. They had that big viral moment.
Exactly.
That's a good person. And on top of that, Ricochet, he could have a match with pretty much anybody and get something really good out of him. And that's what you want with Logan Paul.
Yep. All right, you want to talk Dynamite?
Yeah, man, let's talk about Dynamite. What do you want to talk about first? The big Jack Perry, I'm a bad guy.
Sure, let's start with that.
I cash fat checks and I have sex. Was the promo basically?
Yeah.
What did he say? I'm banging the hottest bitch in the back or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Jeez, Jack.
Wow.
Show, don't tell.
Crass.
Hey-o.
Oh my gosh.
You just got that one. Yeah. So I've seen a variety of conversation about this promo on the internet.
Yeah, I have too.
And I'll take the glass half full approach.
All right.
In that, when Judgment Day began, they were kind of boring. They weren't exactly. It took them a long time and a major personnel change. In several instances, Edge had to leave and Finn Balor had to be leader, and then Triple H had to take over. Literally, the head of creative had to change for Judgment Day to really find its footing. And with Jack Perry, this is a new iteration of his character. And sometimes it takes some getting your feet under you. He's never been used to being a big personality, and now he's being shoved out into the spotlight. Be a big personality, be a bad guy now. If you remember Britt Baker's first bad guy promo, it did not go over well at all. It was kind of a mess. And then she turned around into one of the top characters in the company. So to me, when I see this promo, I wasn't in the moment huge on it, but history has told us it's too early to tell, because he could find his footing as a character. And one thing to look at too is the one successful aspect of it when he ran away from Hook and he did that dive into the SUV. If he takes lessons from Christian, if he takes lessons from MJF, I have a good feeling about his prospects. Whether or not I'm going to be, that's going to prove out, I don't know. But I do think that for me, too early to tell.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. What we saw last night, it wasn't like it was anything outside the norm in terms of, hey, I'm a new heel now.
Mm-hmm.
Jungle Boy, from his debut in AEW, I mean, I think he says he gets like really nervous about doing promos.
Yeah, right.
Thing,
yeah.
And you could always kind of tell. And the one hope is anybody who maybe is struggling to get their feet under them as a character, as a babyface, could turn heel, because seemingly there's more freedom to do in what you could do and how you could approach your promos.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And I mean, we saw a slight repackage. He had a leather jacket. He had sunglasses on. I saw him dubbed as Hollywood Jack Perry now.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
He said, I don't want that theme music anymore. So next week, I'm guessing, new music.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Welcome to the Jungle. Probably not. It's probably very expensive.
They've been spending a lot of money lately on songs.
Yeah, apparently what Tony Khan said in Final Countdown, to get that for one night cost as much as a wrestler's contract.
Oh, my gosh.
But yeah, it is too early to tell. You got to hope that what worked last night is what they focus on and build on.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like it took a little while for the crowd to really start giving him the heat he was hoping to get from second one. You know what I mean? Like, we first came out, it was kind of like, all right, boo this guy, boo, he sucks.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until the end where the crowd was really, vocal.
Yeah.
With their disdain, with their heat.
Yeah.
For heel Jack Perry now. And that kind of went with the heel turn itself. It kind of went over fairly, at least on TV, kind of mildly.
The problem is there was no substance to it. When you resort to, as Maggie here says in chat, casual misogyny, it's boring.
It is.
Like, there's no substance to it. It's just boring. I cash fat checks and I'm having sex. It's boring. There's no substance to it.
No.
So I'm hoping that he'll be able to find something that he can hold on to and really work with. I get the feeling, though. I get the feeling that when you're in a program with Hook, I think this might do wonders for Hook, who's doing like nothing right now.
Yeah.
And he's been doing nothing for a while. This will probably end up, because look, and this is just my own personal observation. I don't have anything against anybody. But when I see the both of them, Hook has natural charisma. He is, I mean, when he is a good looking dude. And when he talks, it sort of like matters. He's got a killer theme song, great presentation. He's got his dad right there, and Taz is awesome. This will probably end up doing a lot more for Hook than Jungle Boy. And I kind of wonder if at the end of the day, that might end up being at least for the first couple of years of his career, Jungle Boy's thing is that people get more out of him than he gets, which would be kind of a shame. But he's gonna especially in a company like AEW where you have to come up and I know they've got like a creative team and everything, but I have no doubt that the wrestlers themselves are coming up with the majority of their stuff. I don't think it's ever been confirmed they have writers.
Yeah.
They might have people helping them with stuff.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And the hope is that he finds that thing that he'll need to get there.
Yeah.
But that's going to be on him.
Yeah. I mean, it's he's got to find the motivation, something with some depth to it. And he's also got to find a way to come off as menacing in some fashion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does he have a heater? You know, I mean, he ran away from Hook, so it's not like he's going to be the one to destroy everybody himself.
I'd even appreciate if he's like a funny chicken shit heel, like what we're seeing with Christian right now. The dude's mentor, basically.
But he has a heater, and that's what I'm saying. Jungle Boy need a heater. I think
that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, Christian is an actual threat because of Luchasaurus. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Because right now, Jungle Boy is not a threat really yet. I know he's only been a heel for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
But he's immediately running away from people.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
He needs a heater. So if that's going to be the take on his character.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Or a faction or something. Someone that can provide the menace, the threat. Because right now, it doesn't really feel like he's a threat.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, there needs to be some meat. It's just, again, same thing with Judgment Day back in the day. There was like no meat. Like Edge was just talk. There was nothing there. But then eventually, honestly, it just became like a thing about their chemistry. They found their characters. They all found their things. Like, honestly, Finn Balor just went back to being Prince Devitt. And Rhea Ripley became, what we all knew she had inside of her, the brutalizer.
I mean, there's elements of what Rhea was doing in NXT and what she's doing now. It's just she's more confident. It's
fully formed now, yeah,
and it's more amplified. It seems like that character turned up to 11.
Yeah.
So yeah, it remains to be seen what's going to happen with heel Jungle Boy, if he's going to be able to find the character he needs to get this heel turned over or not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a matter of confidence and understanding who his character is supposed to be. Like, honestly, if they did vignettes where if he's gonna be Hollywood Jack, an entitled trust fund baby, that's a fun route to go. You can
gets on hook about being entitled.
You can have him. I know. Well, therein lies the hypocrisy.
Yeah, I know.
He's sitting poolside talking about how Hook is given everything. Like that could be funny. That could be good stuff.
Sitting poolside the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you want to talk about Sting becoming channeling his inner PCO?
This is the first time he's done something like this.
No, I know. Like, people are like, "Oh my God, what's Sting doing?" Have you guys not been paying attention? He's sort of like he's been doing crazy shit now for
a while.
For a little while, since he got to AEW, he started hanging out with Darby Allin. He's like, I'm going to jump off the entranceway
all the time now. So first, we've heard about him being hurt. He doesn't seem to be severe, thankfully. So there's a spot where Darby sets up a ladder in the ring. There's 2 tables set up on the floor. Darby starts to climb the ladder to put Sammy through it with a splash, and Sting's like, oh no, I'm doing this one, kid. And so Sting then turns around the ladder, he hits a splash on Sammy. Tables were a little far away from the ring, though. I think after the show, Sting said he might have a loose tooth and he might need some stitches.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Sting. None of this would make me pearl clutch if it wasn't for his 2015 match with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
That's always in my head because that was a scary moment. Like,
really
he got hit and his head snapped back, and then he's like, and so now when I see, for example, Sammy Guevara hitting him the other day with the springboard cutter while Sting had the death lock on, and his neck sort of cranks.
Yeah, that's worrisome. Yeah,
I get worried about that, and then I see this, and his head hits Sammy Guevara in those tables, and it sort of cracks back. It's like, crap, because he is 8 years older now than he was then.
Yep,
and he's talked about needing surgery, which would end his career.
Yep,
and I understand that this is his last go, but we do not want a Randy the Ram situation to happen here.
No.
And because Sting is pretty awesome, but if he wants to be sort of diet PCO, if the man understands his own limitations, then you got like less than 6 months left on the year, and he said this year is going to be it for him. So
yeah,
I guess just let the man do his thing.
Yeah, I guess so. So long as he feels safe in his approach of what he's doing.
Yeah, he's his own person. He can do that.
Yeah, he's a legend in this business. He's going to earn the right to dictate how he gets out of the industry.
Don't do this. I'll put my hands over my face and cover my eyes. Oh, is he okay?
Exactly. Kind of peek through, make sure everything's all right.
Right, exactly, yeah. We'll talk about the rest of AEW Dynamite here in a second. Larson, you want to pay some bills real quick?
Let's do it. Let's take a quick break here. Get a word from our sponsor, iHerb. Now that I'm getting up there in years, Steve, I'm trying to say I'm getting old. Become obvious. I need to take better care of myself, which means making sure my body gets everything it needs to operate at peak performance. When I'm looking for the best value in wellness products, I go to iHerb.
I think most of us have our favorite grocery stores to shop at, right?
Yeah.
Now with iHerb, you can have your go-to stop for all things health and wellness. I'm talking vitamins, supplements, snacks, spices, and a whole lot more. For a limited time, new customers can get 22% off their entire order by going to iHerb.com and using promo code RAW.
Steve, I've been taking daily vitamins for as long as I can remember. So I went to iHerb.com to see what they had, and the selection was massive. Huge. But iHerb has made the process of finding what you want a breeze, because you can search by category, brand, customer ratings, price, even diet if you're vegan or have food allergies. and I was able to navigate the numerous options effortlessly and decided to get these right here. You see here down here, Steve? I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Ultra potency.
Oh, wow.
Let me turn towards the camera a little bit better. There we go. Ultra potency.
I like that on it says alive.
Alive, indeed. Plus, shipping is free in the United States on orders over $20.
That's right. And with over 24 million authentic reviews and 1.3 million 5-star ratings, iHerb has helped more than 11 million customers find the best products for them. It's time to get your health in check with iHerb. New customers get 22% off their first order when you use code RAW at iHerb.com.
That's 22% off your first order at IHERB.com. Promo code RAW. Choose iHerb because wellness matters.
That's right. And before we continue on with our AEW Dynamite review, we got, look at who's this fella. A new channel member here on YouTube, Chris Kaufman.
Oh, thank you, Chris Kaufman.
Thank you, Chris Kaufman. Welcome to Friendo Club, Chris Kaufman. Also, Lee, new Friendo Club member.
Welcome to Friendo Club.
Welcome to Friendo Club, Lee. And then Dirk Hardpeck here with the super chat says, what are some wrestling tropes that annoy you more than they should? He says, for me, it's when wrestlers can't watch the TV programming ever, so they're oblivious to story beats that happen behind their back. I like that they referenced that last night.
They did.
With Cole and Strong.
I mean, for me, it's still when someone's supposed to be selling a move or something and they're fixing their knee pads or they're getting their hair out of their face or something like that.
Mine traditionally has been looking at the ref during a count. However, I understand it's wrestling. You need to communicate and understand. Sometimes you do that with your face and whatnot. Dirk here has a good point. Mine's similar to that. It's when they don't communicate with each other between episodes.
Yeah.
Like pressing matters, you would think would be communicated off camera as soon as an episode is done, but no, they wait until the following episode that they're
doesn't
on.
Happen on camera doesn't happen at all.
Exactly, like Warren Beatty said. Also, new Friendo Club channel member, Movie Party Murder.
Welcome to Friendo Club.
That sounds fun. Sounds like a Hearst Castle type thing. Movie party.
Have you ever been to Hearst Castle?
I haven't. I really want to, though.
It's pretty neat.
To. Yeah, it seems like it would be. Kubla Khan. Survivor 1993, also new channel club member. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to Friendo Club.
Unreal. With the super chat says AEW Fight Forever out today, and I'm going to go for gold. Later on
Best
today or tomorrow, whenever I get on it. My next goal is going to be, so I made a character last night on my personal Twitch channel. His name was Deep Purple for the Road to Elite. But
Deep Purple, that's the name, right?
It's Deep Purple, yeah.
All right.
He sort of looks like Mecha Santa. I might either make like Stone Cold or like have Cody go for the gold. But the cool thing about it is that you can have one person have like 5 titles, have all the titles.
Yeah, that's great.
And they show up in their entrance. It's the little things.
It is.
It's the little things.
I saw that. That was so satisfying seeing that.
I know, and it's going to be more satisfying when it's Cody. I think I already saw somebody do that with Cody, but I want to do that myself.
But you want to do it with Cody. Ryan Miller also. Welcome to Friendo Club.
Oh, wow. Movie Party Murder says that's exactly why I chose the name. Because of Hearst Castle. That's kind of cool. By the way, we have ourselves a new merch line. It's all purple stuff. Here is, we got this. I don't even know his name, but it's no, how about this? I got a cameo from The Undertaker and from Mark Calloway. I spent a lot of money to get a cameo to push this purple merch. Here's the merch graphic here. Let me play this cameo here.
Hello, everybody. This is Mark Calloway on the 20th.
Like he's talking with his hand over his mouth.
Listen, it's the 25th. Well, I got the thing up. It's the 25th anniversary plus 1 day of our epic Hell in a Cell match with Mick Foley, my good friend, where I almost killed him 2 times. Anyways, do you like Dead Man Purple? Go to friendoshop.com for the latest in Going in Raw purple merch. And while you're there, you can use promo code PURPLE to get 20% off. Do you like wearing shirts with no pants or underpants on? We've got a whole selection of shirts so you could do that. Maybe they're too short for your belly and not to show.
Okay, I didn't know he was going to be talking. My goodness, everybody.
Can't trust anybody seemingly to do
even
a plug for us.
The Undertaker himself. I don't know that maybe I accidentally found an Undertaker Impersonator.
Imposter.
Maybe imposter.
If they're claiming to be Mark Calloway and are not Mark Calloway, that's an imposter, Steve.
Yeah, that could very well be. But anyways, we got a bunch of great purple merch over there, including some Wrestle Juice stuff. So check that out. A couple of new hats. So I don't. You know, it's like what's that dude's at Keith? It's like Keith on the Righteous Gemstones. You wear the shirt, but then you're not wearing anything underneath.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes like Randy Orton will come out. It's like, is he not wearing anything underneath? But
CM Punk used to do that too.
He used to do that as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy stuff.
We got another new channel member here, Lucci Club Studios. Welcome to Friendo Club.
Oh, welcome to Friendo Club. Also, we got a couple new patrons here.
Oh.
Ozzy Hunter, Lord Neroku, and then Alex Ramgunai, and then Ghost Ferratu and Aaron John Cash. They're all new patrons. And be it patrons, $5 and up, or YouTube channel members, including Lucci Club Studios here, a new YouTube channel member, you can still participate in the huge Money in the Bank Predictions Challenge. And by the way, here is the picture of Brandon McClendon, who just won Big Blue from John Hosey. There it is. There he is, Brandon McClendon, with that Friendo Club Big Blue title. He is the predictions champion now.
Congratulations.
And the Money in the Bank Predictions Challenge is actually for Money in the Bank. Larson, explain.
Do you have the briefcase handy? We have an actual briefcase. Well, it's a lunchbox. So we got the card. We got, I think, about 10 prop bets.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the most points after all that will lay claim to the Money in the Bank, lunchbox there, and they can cash it in whenever they want.
Yeah.
Well, around pay-per-views, around prediction challenges, and say you're down a couple points, you want to get that win. Mm-hmm. Guess what? You cash in. There's numbers in that lunchbox there between 1 and 5. Mm-hmm. Actually, 0 and 5.
Yeah.
And so you can get a 5. Let me say how many numbers are. People probably want to know their odds. 5 1s, 4 2s, 3 3s, 2 4s, 1 5, and 1 0.
Right. Yeah.
And just the other day we did a test. I pulled out the 5.
Let's do another test. I'm up 3.
Yeah.
Do you cash in?
Man, that's tough.
I'm up 2. Do you cash in?
Absolutely. Let's cash in.
All right. I'm up 2. Larson needs 3 to win, 2 to tie.
All right.
Tell me when to stop.
Well, tie does me no good. Stop.
Another 5.
Wow, that's 2 5s in a row.
That's 2 5s on the test. My goodness gracious. Good job.
Felt like you'd be that lucky on the basketball court.
I like this one right here. That one right there for you.
3.
Yeah.
Ow. It's that simple. So if you want to cash in and you win the briefcase, there you go.
I want to cash in. And they're like, now? Yeah, I want to cash in now. Now? Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Also, if you're watching here on the YouTube, whether live or on demand, if you could, please hit that like button. This one looks like a thumbs up.
Oh, yeah.
And if you like what you hear, you're new, consider hitting that subscribe button, that notify bell, so you get notified of new Going in Raw content whenever we put it up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Eric Barbosa here in YouTube chat says, Steve is looking for impersonators in the wrong sites. It's Cameo. It's Kameoh. Cameo.
Wait, say it again?
Kameoh.
No.
Cameo.
No.
What? That's not
No.
Cameo?
No. Cameo. That's how you spell cameo, Steve.
Oh, it's the wrong place. Oh, no. What
I don't want to ask how much money you've dropped there. Anyway, let's talk about Dynamite.
You know that? Have you seen the statement for the new loan that I got?
Loan.
So AEW Dynamite started with. Oh shit, we need to talk about this. Blood and Guts was announced.
I feel like we're about to have some blood and guts here Going in Raw, Steve. I'm being honest. Talk this about loans.
Blood and Guts was announced for July something or another in Boston. Oh no, not fisticuffs. So yeah, Blood and Guts was announced. It's gonna be, who is it? It's gonna be Mox, Yuta, Claudio.
It's just Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite, but Eddie's gonna be doing the G1. He's not in it.
Yeah, he's not in it.
So it'd be the Young Bucks and Hangman for sure.
Yeah,
they need a fourth, whether that's Kenny, whether that's Kota Ibushi.
Wait, who is it? Blackpool Combat Club and Takeshita, right?
Yeah, so it'll be Mox, Wheeler, Claudio, Takeshita. Yeah, that's
right.
4.
Okay.
So the Elite need one more.
Yeah. So you got, okay. So, I mean, I don't know. Kenny should be out for a while. Kenny should not do this. And apparently Danielson was going to be in this, but then that break of his is gnarly, so he's going to be out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty bad break.
So, yeah, I don't know. Like, is it possible? I was going to say, is it possible Blackpool Combat Club grabs 2 more people and the Elite bring in the Dark Order, given that like Dark Order ran away, but they're like involved kind of, they can find a way to be friends.
So 6 on 6?
Maybe. It's a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah. It'd be a lot of mayhem. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's a possibility since seemingly Dark Order were pulled into at least to the orbit of this whole Blackpool Combat Club Elite thing. Yeah. But as you mentioned, 6 on 6, that's a lot of people. I know it's 2 rings, but still it's a lot of people. But also you think, well, Dark Order's in there. Yeah. They're gonna take the pin then.
Yeah, they're a bunch of big old nerds. We're gonna talk about that here in a second. I can't wait to chew into that one. But the episode started off with Jon Moxley in a very violent bout with Tomohiro Ishii.
Oh yeah, it was really bloody.
I'm sorry, that match was awesome, man. I've seen some people clowning some spots really on Twitter, but I thought this shit was awesome. The bit where they like clothesline each other in the middle of the ring and just collapse. I thought that was cool, man.
Yeah, that was really cool.
They try to make it look real, and I dig that.
They did. I could have maybe done, like, I know they weren't actually like headbutting each other. I get really nervous around headbutts ever since the Shibata deal,
Man, that's still, whenever I see that guy, that Shibata in general makes me nervous to watch him in the ring. And I hate that. And I know he's very safe, but it's wrestling. Any one little thing could
anything could happen.
Yeah, it could cause catastrophe.
It really could.
But yeah, no, this was phenomenal. So the big story beat was Eddie Kingston coming out to make sure everybody was honest. So at one point, you got Claudio and Yuta, and they're sort of circling Tomohiro Ishii, who's on the floor. And Eddie Kingston comes out and he keeps them away, keeps them at bay. And Mox is like, what's going on? He's like, do it yourself. Do it yourself. Do it by yourself, John. So he goes over and Eddie's just he's an enforcer now, but he's just staring at Claudio. And I really do love the dynamic between Eddie and Claudio, because Claudio is as still as humanly possible, and Eddie's just this frenetic, yellow-shirted, jorts-wearing ball of energy who's just like all over the place. And Claudio just staring daggers at him the entire time, and vice versa. I thought it added a really fun element to this match. Moxley ended up getting the win here on Ishii. And Kingston was like very sarcastically, "Oh, look, you did it by yourself. See, John, you did it by yourself. You didn't need them. You didn't need them." And Moxley's over it with Eddie. He's like, leave me alone. These are my buddies. Like, you're hanging out with that scumbag. That spilled over into a backstage segment later.
It did. It took 2 Death Riders to beat Ishii.
It did. Yeah, he kicked out of one. I was kind of surprised at that.
Yeah,
that was,
that was pretty surprising. So we're in the parking lot. Renee's waiting. Adam Cole pulls up, gets out of his car. Then pretty much immediately another car pulls in, kind of too close for comfort for Renee, and Adam Cole, and MJF gets out of there. He goes, "Hey, what's up, dude? First of all, congrats on getting sick for Forbidden Door. Dude, I wish I had thought of that. So smart. Genius."
Pretty funny.
And Cole responds, "Max, I was actually sick." And MJF goes, "Yeah, sure. Listen, bud, I think me and you got off on the wrong page here, especially with this blind eliminator tag tournament coming up. It's honestly a huge opportunity for you. Let me explain why. Obviously, you weren't good enough to beat me for the Triple B, but that's not your fault, man. No one is on the level of the devil. But if there's anyone close, it's you, Adam Cole. So just imagine what me and you would be capable of doing together as a unit, as a team. We could run this entire company together. So had a little idea. How about me and you bond a little bit this weekend? Hop in my car and hang out. A couple of bros. What do you say?"
Yeah, so Cole's like, wait, you want to get to know me or something? And Jeff's like, yeah, quite literally. I would appreciate that. Cole says, you know what, Max? Sure, why not? So MJF gets all excited, jabs Cole in the tummy, says, "Don't touch me." And MJF says, "Okay, cool. Boundaries are cool." So they bicker a little bit. Cole tells MJF, he says, "I'm going to go say hello to a few people, and then, Max, I'll see you around." And then Cole turns to walk away, and MJF grabs him by the arm. He's like, "Oh, sorry, bad memory. But I got a little gift for you. You're going to love this. To commemorate the fact that we're going to become the next AEW tag champs, I got us tag merch, and it's a shirt that says better than you in MJF sort of font, and then Bebe in the Adam Cole font. And he looks at the camera and says, available now on AEWshop.com. So like, this is one of those shirts that's going to have like a relevance, time window of like a couple weeks,
it's like
maybe.
the Y2 AJ shirts.
Mm-hmm, yeah, exactly. So then Cole just says, good God, man. And then he leaves.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I'm assuming like what they really should do. But I know Cole likes to separate one from the other. Have MJF show up on the Chugs Twitch channel.
Oh, that'd be something else. That would be something else, man. That would be pretty neat. So we're backstage again. Renee is asking Mox, what is going on between you and Eddie? This has to stop. And Mox just says, that was some BS out there. Eddie's going to run up on me like that. Like, I need 3 guys to win a match. And then Eddie comes in, and they start arguing back and forth. And Eddie says, I saved your ass against the Bucks. No one kicked your ass out there but me. I got your back, but you're with this scumbag. You want me to sit back and chill? What is wrong with you? And Mox responds, who cares about some Chikara BS? It was 10 years ago. And they start arguing again. It's talking over each other. Renee yells, enough. So Mox steps off frame, followed by Claudio and Yuta. And then she turns to Eddie and goes, you better fix this. I'm done.
I thought she was good at acting. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, it's like kind of disconcerting to see Renee like, all, up in arms and everything, because she's always, the cool interview person. So it was really effective in that respect. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
After that, we had the a really nice Ospreay Omega video package. Omega's like, this isn't over. I'll be back. And Ospreay says, Kenny, tell me when you want to settle this. I know a good spot. Probably going to be Wembley.
Seems like it.
Yeah. After that, we had Orange Cassidy, El Hijo del Vikingo, and Keith Lee, who stepped back through Rawgate, apparently, and got some Just for Men back. Looks like $1 million. Hey, he looked like $1 million regardless. But looks like Keith Lee of old or young, whichever way you want to talk about it. And they're taking on the Jericho Appreciation Society of Daniel Garcia in 2.0. Daniel Garcia, of course, there you go. He did his dance on top of Keith Lee.
Yeah.
And then Keith Lee sort of powered up out of that.
Yeah.
So this is a really fun
stood up
match.
with while getting Garcia on his shoulders. Yeah, it was something else.
It was a really cool bit. Yeah.
It was. I mean, they tried to. They had to motivate this team of Orange Cassidy, Vikingo, and Keith Lee somehow. So there's so before that they have a interview with Garcia in 2.0 where Garcia challenges Orange Cassidy. So they go to the locker room, and Shivani's asking Orange, well, who you gonna have as partner? And he just kind of looks around, and there's Keith Lee, and he's like, hey, you wanna be my partner? And Keith Lee's like, everybody else here is too scared to fight me, which I guess is the motivation for why he's not on TV.
Could be.
And then they're like, all right, we need one more person. And so Keith Lee steps aside, and behind him, sitting down in the locker room, is Vikingo. Mm-hmm. So Orange just gives him a thumbs up, and Vikingo just sits there and does this. Thumbs up back.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It was funny.
And no, this is a wildly fun match. Dude.
It was really fun. Yeah.
Really
it was
fun.
really fun. In the end, Garcia is looking for a Dragon Tamer on Vikingo. Nope, not on Vikingo. Sorry, on Orange. Vikingo breaks it up with a super kick. So then Orange tags in Keith Lee. He hits Menard hits him with a bunch of chops and clotheslines, and Lee just barely budges. Mm-hmm. And he picks up Menard. I guess Keith Lee's finisher has a new name. It's Supernova now.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And he's looking to hit that. Menard tries to elbow out, and Lee kind of sells it a little bit, but just hits him with it anyways to get the win.
Yeah. No, it was good stuff.
It was.
After that, we had an Elite promo where Hangman says, tonight, live on Dynamite, fresh off a victory at Forbidden Door. Tonight, we have a Trios Open Challenge. We're looking for, and then, oh, God.
All right, Steve.
These fucking nerds. Now,
wow.
Keep in mind, what I'm about to say is strictly related to the characters as they are written on the screen. I'm sure John Silver, Alex Reynolds, Evil Uno, if that is in fact their real names, are wildly fun, awesome people. I've enjoyed a lot of their work in the past. So this is not shade thrown at the people. It's thrown shade at the characters. These fucking dorks. Nobody with an ounce of fucking social... What a faux pas this is. To walk up to a guy and say, Why aren't you hanging out with us anymore? Why are you hanging out with them? We were with you at your lowest point. Okay, fine. A real friend doesn't ask for anything in return. A real friend doesn't go up to somebody and say, oh, you want to hang out with them? Boo on you. You should be hanging out with us. The entitlement of these nerds is out of control. They're out of line, Larson, because they walk up and they say, Matt's like, hey, you're in our shot, nerds. Step out. We'll take it from the top, okay? Because Brandon's rolling. And he says, tonight, we have an open challenge. Any 3 men in the back. And he's interrupted by John Silver. He says, hey, I'm talking to you. You want 3 men? We'll count them. 1, 2, 3. We're going to kick your ass tonight. And Matt's like, is that right? And Hangman laughs in the background. He's like, you want to get on it? He says, look, we'll make this a 12-man tag. You 3 and us 3. Hangman's actually extending an olive branch here. Hey, let's all tag together. And then Reynolds is like, no, he's serious. We're here to fight you. You think you could just not talk to us for months and then everything will be okay? No, we're here to fight you 3 tonight. And Paige's like, no, look, man, I'm sorry. And Uno says, oh, he's sorry. You think that's enough? You haven't contacted us. You haven't hung out with us. You left us. You abandoned us. Why isn't the company of those 3 men enough? They have each other. Let the man go. And if it's real love, he'll come back. Why do they insist? Why do they insist on saying, be with us? I can't stand that level of entitlement with these nerds, Larson.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'll say this. In this whole Hangman Dark Order story, there's been several instances where, if you're looking at it objectively, Hangman has not been a good friend of the Dark Order. He'll be buddies with them when it's convenient for him, but when it's not, they get kicked to the curb. This has happened on numerous occasions, and maybe the Dark Order guys that are like, enough. Tired of you using us when it's convenient for you and ignoring us when you want to do something else.
How many times did Hangman say, I got this, don't worry about it, and then they still get involved?
Oh, plenty.
The entire time he's like, look, I'm appreciative of you and your friendship. And so we've hung out. But at a certain point, as you dribble all over yourself like an infant.
Yes, I know.
At a certain point, let the man live his life. And I'm sure he'll still be friendly with you. If you're like, hey, we're going to go see this movie. If he's free, he's a father now, though. If he's free, maybe he'll go with you. Keep him in your group chat and he'll hang out with you.
See, but the problem with that, though, Steve, is there's no drama in that relationship. There needs to be drama so they can tell stories in the wrestling ring.
The only drama I want is for Hangman Page to come to the realization that when he has John Silver set up for a buckshot lariat, that you do not hesitate. You take that man's head off, and then I want to see the drama of him giving him a second one where he actually...
Wow.
Where he maybe, remember the feud between Hangman and Mox where it's all about like, I want to concuss you. That's what Hangman needs to be thinking with John Silver. Rolling up on like that. Are you actually his friends? If you're actually his friends, you're going to be like, hey, Hangman looks really happy with those guys over there. If they get overwhelmed by the numbers game because Kenny Omega's not around anymore, we're going to have their back too. And you know what? We're not going to ask for anything in return. That's what a real friend is. Lift him up, let him live. And you got a friend for life. If they need him for anything, I'm sure he'll be there for him.
Maybe for the Dark Order, I'm just playing devil's
No, I know it's a
advocate
fun
here.
conversation because I like to yell.
Maybe the Dark Order feel like this is too much of a transactional relationship. Again, Hangman only hangs out with us when it's beneficial for him. When it's not beneficial for him. So it's one thing, maybe by going up to Hangman and having this conversation, is to say, all right, are you really our friend or not?
Then
maybe that's really the question that's going to be posed here.
Then learn your lesson. You've had, how long has it been? Years to understand the dynamic of you and Hangman Page. Then walk away. Just walk away. Don't yell at somebody for not being a good friend. It's all fun and games. I'm just having fun with the segment. It was a whole lot of nothing.
You're right. The poll here said that Hangman was in the wrong. So,
oh, that's fine. A bunch of people don't know what they're talking about. That's totally fine. That's great. Once you guys have real friends, then you'll know. Anyways.
Wow.
I'm joking. Come on. It's jokes. It's
Wow.
honestly, it's jokes. It's jokes. I'm being bad guy Steve right now.
You are being bad guy, Steve.
Because no, when I see this,
explain these loans to me you mentioned earlier.
When I see, good luck with that, you nerd.
No, good luck with that to you, nerd.
So yeah, no, when I see this, it just makes me laugh because it's like I do like the overall idea of like, oh, you're our friend and now you've ditched us and the complexities there, and it makes me laugh. But I see this and I'm like, oh, these nerds. It's fun to talk about.
Yeah. Like I've been saying this for a while. Hangman is not the best friend. He's not.
Man, I disagree. I just disagree with that. I think friendship is not contingent on requiring something in return.
No, I don't disagree with that. I don't necessarily think this is a situation where Dark Order is like, we've given you this and now we expect this back. I don't think it's
they literally did that last night, though.
But here's the thing. It's not like if they view Paige's relationship with them as a transactional thing. Paige is with them because he needs something. They fulfill that need, and then once he has his fill of Dark Order, off he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Then if they have to, from their vantage point, if they feel like if that's how we have to have this conversation so he understands our point of view, because that seemingly is how he operates with us, then that's how we have to have this conversation.
Honestly, he's sort of with like the Young Bucks right now I'm not going to call it necessity necessarily, but, obviously he's got history with them that predates the Dark Order. Yeah. And he sort of got roped back into it, and he was able to rekindle a friendship then with the Young Bucks. But even the Young Bucks,
Dark Order to the curb.
Even the Young Bucks were willing to be like, okay, like they were friendly with Hangman when he was hanging out with the Dark Order after like the whole Kenny and he got the championship thing. They're like, okay, that's cool. Go ahead and be with them. There was whatever that tournament thing was, the trios tournament, I think it was. They were fine with that. They weren't asking for anything in return. They were going to approach him, and then they're like, oh, he's already got them. That's fine. Real friends right there. Understanding that it shouldn't be contingent on something else.
But people get feelings hurt when you're there for somebody and then poof, they're gone.
By the way, there is no deeper conversation between me and Larson happening right now. There are people in chat being like, Steve, no, man.
No, we're just trying to analyze the segment.
You and I are hang-die because we're students of humanity. That's what we are.
We are.
Yeah, the human condition.
I'm in my mid-40s. I am the way. Yeah, Steve's in his mid-40s. He is the way he is.
Right, exactly.
We understand each other.
I know. Here's the thing. Like, I know that, yes, you are the Kevin Durant on our trivia team. You're the one who's going to get us over the hump, get that ring. But if you have other things to do, now, if you join another trivia team, ooh.
You'd be upset. You would be upset, wouldn't you?
Oh, wow. That just turned around on me. Let's move on because I don't like that. I don't like that.
You don't want to dig deeper into that, do you?
People are probably getting bored now. Let's move on. There is an Okada Danielson video package.
Now you get Dark Order's perspective.
There was a Jericho Guevara interview where Jericho's like, for the first time ever at Forbidden Door, Sting and Chris Jericho were in the ring together, but this is a little bigger than Forbidden Door. Jericho and Sting should be on TBS, right? Should be commentated by Schiavone, just like it should have been so many years ago. But Sting, you said you wanted more time with Chris Jericho in the ring. Well, guess what? Tonight you get your nightmare. That's right. It's not a dream, because tonight I'm going to go deep inside of myself. Let's go to the primordial ooze of Chris Jericho. You think he knows that that's not actually the building blocks of humanity now, the primordial ooze?
Yeah, I know. I know. I hope you know that.
He says, I don't know. Listen to his podcast, maybe not. He says, let's bring out the Painmaker, Sting. He says, you know about being dark. You know how desperate things can get when your back is up against the wall. Tonight, you're not facing Jericho. You're facing Painmaker. You want to get dirty, Sting? Let's get dirty. Let's put that white paint in the dirt till it comes up a bloody mess. Ain't that right, Sammy? And this is one, unlike the MJF Cole one, they had a boom mic on it. They didn't have a boom mic. It was the stick. And so Sammy just says,
yeah.
What did he say?
Just mumbled. I think it was, but I'm not entirely sure what he said. Why does the Painmaker thing was like novel for that one match against Okada. I get it.
Yeah.
It's not a huge departure for Chris Jericho. He just kind of goes to the camera and does this.
None of it is.
During
like when he was Lionheart Chris Jericho really wasn't a lot of difference there.
No.
No, I know it's I know, and this is one thing that I appreciate about Jericho. In his mind, he's like, oh, this is like my Demon Balor. This is like the guy where I go to the extremes. When he does like the exact same thing, except what you just said, he goes, But it's like even change up the music a little bit or something.
I know. Well, they did last night. It wasn't the same Judas, at least not initially.
Oh, that's right. It was like a darker version of it. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
there
was
was like a prelude to it as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. If it was a bit more sparingly, but he does sort of dig it out of the gimmick box,
I know.
Here and there.
Yeah. Then we got Steve's favorite group of friends in AEW, Dark Order. Now they understand their point of view.
Oh, this is a good point here. Healthy Fears Pod here says it's a real Banshees of how do you spell it? In a Sharon situation. Did you see that movie? It was Colin Farrell and Gleason. What's his name?
Oh yeah, no, I haven't seen that movie, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it's a good movie. It's the scenery is lovely, but also it's pretty funny. It's about a guy who just doesn't want to be friends with another guy. And he's like, why not? And he was like, I don't want to live my life doing the same old shit all the time. But they have to see each other because they're in a really small village.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's kind of, I guess that there's some parallels there.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So, yeah, Dark Order versus the Elite. And the whole story, the early part of this match is that Hangman doesn't want to beat up any member of the Dark Order. And so he's in a position where he could hit a move on somebody or something. He's like, no, I can't do it. And he tags out.
Yeah.
And so the Young Bucks early on have to handle a pretty significant load of the match. Eventually, though, Evil Uno gets in there and is like, come on, Hangman, let's fight. And Hangman doesn't want to do it, so Uno slaps him.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, Hangman is not the legal man for his team. So he goes to the apron, tags himself in, and then he and Uno starts throwing hands. This eventually leads to Page and Silver being the two legal men in the match. Page is looking for a buckshot, but he hesitates. He eventually goes for it. Silver reverses, gets a 2 count there. Eventually, though, Page does hit a dead eye on Silver. The Young Bucks follow with a BTE trigger, and Page hits Silver with a buckshot to get the win. And as soon as the pinfall is counted, Page is kneeling next to Silver, talking to him. And commentary is like, I feel like he's apologizing to Silver for having to do that.
Yeah.
And so Reynolds and Uno get in the ring, and then the Blackpool Combat Club get in the ring with chairs and start destroying the Elite. While the Dark Order just stand there. Oh, this is a real shame. This is happening to you, Elite.
Well, that's the thing. I actually I've taken some lip reading classes, and what Page actually said to John Silver was interesting. He says, "Listen, you fucking nerd.
That's not what he said.
This is not what friendships are about. You shouldn't require anything in return."
I think you're projecting there, Steve.
Next time, no lip reading classes.
No,
next time, every Tuesday night. Next time.
No,
I'm going to take your head off
Tuesday night, not lip reading classes.
2 buckshot lariats. You shit.
That's not what he said, anyways. So Mox is in there. He takes a screwdriver, jams it in Hangman's head.
Oof,
Hangman starts bleeding.
Oh, yeah.
And Dark Order's like, all right, you got this taken care of, Elite. We'll see you later. They leave.
Yeah.
And so Takeshita and Callis come in to join the beatdown. Eddie comes to the ring. As soon as he slides in the ring, Claudio just stomps him.
That was awesome because it was like hella messy, but it was kind of awesome because it was the first time that Claudio exploded on him because he's like, I can't do anything to him. Like during the Ishii match, I can't do anything to him now, but when I get the opportunity, it's all going to come out. And so it was unnaturally messy for Claudio.
It really was because he's so precise in his movements. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then Yuta hits Eddie with the chair, and then Yuta puts an armbar on Eddie while Claudio pins him down with the chair. Mm-hmm. So then Page, he's got blood just dripping down his face, and he's looking up the ramp towards the Dark Order as they're leaving. Mm-hmm. And Mox grabs the mic, but he's got his back turned to Eddie while he's getting beat up. Like he can't bear to watch that.
Yeah.
So eventually he starts talking. He says, "It's been a real blast, Elite, but I got to tell you, it's about time it came to an end. It's about time we finish this. We have all pushed each other to our limits, and now we push each other beyond our limits. July 19th, Boston, TD Garden. Just like someone once said, blood and guts."
Blood and guts, Boston in Boston. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. I hope they're all very safe and nobody gets hurt.
Yes.
Can't look. Just know.
No swings on top of the cage.
I'm glad that Sammy's not in the match.
It's true, but Nick Jackson is. And he'll do something crazy.
Just not from the top of the cage.
Probably be from the top of the cage.
That Jericho spot, it made me so mad that people criticize the shit out of that Jericho spot. Because, like, dude, he's off. If he's off by like 3 feet, you got to do that blind. He went backwards. You got to do that shit blind.
Mm-hmm.
And that landing pad, it wasn't huge. Like, his head was like 2 feet away from like one of the spotlights, one of the little, those things are tough.
Yeah.
Like, man. And it's like, oh, because TV got it wrong. Well, he did the thing. It's wrestling,
Exactly. I know.
Boy,
safety
that was
above
scary.
all else. That should be paramount,
Yeah, man. Be boring.
And if
please,
the camera's the slightly wrong angle, well, at least we know that someone's not going to get severely injured going off the top of the cage.
I know, exactly. After that, we had Owen. It's a tournament video package for the Owen. And then we had Adam Cole and Roderick Strong, or generic white guy, as MJF referred to him as in the parking lot. So Cole's like, where is this guy? And Roddy steps in, gives Cole a hug, says, you can't trust this guy, right? Cole's like, of course I know I can't trust him, but that guy's a maniac, absolute maniac. I'm just playing along right now. And Roddy's like, but what if he watches this back? Referring to the show. And he says he's going to know. And Cole says, there's no possible way. So MJF steps in. Hey, what's up, Cole? What's up, generic white guy? And Roddy's like, what the And MJ's like, I'm just kidding, just messing around. Jeez, you look great, by the way. Jacked. Second of all, looks to Cole. He's bad enough we got to wrestle every week. You want me to stay at the show the entire day? Let's get the hell out of here, dude. This place sucks. So MJF gets in his car. Cole says, he's definitely not watching this back. He says, Roddy, I love you, bro. I'll keep you posted. Good luck with your match with Joe. And then Cole gets in MJF's car. MJF says, come on, baby, let's go.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny stuff.
Then we got a video package about Jungle Boy turning heel on Hook. And we got Jungle Boy doing his huge heel promo. Walks out, leather jacket, sunglasses. They're playing his theme. He tells the truck, stop playing that. Y'all have ruined that song for me to the point that we're never going to hear it again. Boo all you want. I got a car out back ready to take me to the airport, and all of you are stuck here with the wildfires. That line did not go over well.
No, it did not.
He says, I'm still young. I'm still cashing fat checks, and I'm still banging the hottest. Anyways, we talked about that earlier. Toronto, let me ask you a question. Did I turn on Hook, or did everyone turn on me? After everything that I've done, that I've given to this place after being robbed of not one but 2 world titles, you expect me to sit here and let some entitled second-generation prick dangle his title in my face? The funny thing is that belt is not even officially recognized by this company, and that's the reason I don't recognize you, Hook. You're a fraud. I never needed you. Jungle Hook was special because of me. The last time I was in a tag team, I was a champion, and you were lucky to stand next to me. You know what? Regardless of if that title is recognized, I know what it means to you. I know what it means to your family. That's exactly why I'm going to take it from you. I can hear you all very clear, referring to people on social media and such. Hook is going to kill me. Hook, when I get my hands on you, I'm going to beat the shit. And before he can finish, Hook's theme hits. He sprints the ring. So the Jungle Boy runs through the crowd, and then Hook gives chase. Camera follows backstage where Jungle Boy is sprinting towards his car. He dives in like a Superman dive.
Yeah, it was a good dive.
As Hook gives chase, that car drives off. Maybe his heater is driving the car. Who could be his heater?
Oh, man. How about this? It's a new guy, but it's actually Luchasaurus without the mask.
That's a good idea.
But he's referred to as a different character, kind of like Joseph Park and Abyss.
Yeah.
It's like I know it was insinuated there was like the same person, but like, it's like a new character, but it's just Luchasaurus, but without the mask.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
He's like, man, those tattoos look very familiar. It's like,
I'm not Luchasaurus. I'm human.
Yeah. Do I look like a dinosaur to you, pal? After that, we had Ruby Soho versus Alexia Nicole. Enhancement match here. Ruby Soho gets the win.
This was supposed to be Britt versus Ruby, but Britt fell ill.
She was sick. Yeah, she got maybe what her dude has, what Chugs has. My guess. Reckless speculation. Anyways, Ruby, in a shout out to Britt, puts a lockjaw on Nicole and she taps out. And Saray and Tony get in the ring. Ruby sprays an L on Nicole's chest for a loss or loser. Ruby grabs a mic, says, Canada's finest here wasn't my original opponent for the evening. It was Britt Baker DMD. And I have all of you to thank for that. Because of your germ-infested country, she's sick. Her boyfriend Chugs didn't even show up for this match at Forbidden Door. They're supposed to be a power couple, but I hope they don't have kids because they're going to be weak. Britt, you said before our match that I didn't know who I was, but I love who I am now. But you're a shell of your former self. You ain't got fans. Look at me. Last year in the finals, you barely beat me on your best day. And look at us. We've taken everything that ever meant to you. And next week, I'm going to keep you from becoming a 2-time Owen Cup winner and leave you with nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Then we get a recap of the Bowens QTV segment from Rampage last week. And then we got a QTV promo. QT says last week is all about the debut of Johnny TV. And then Johnny sets up a match between himself, QT, against Isaiah Cassidy and Matt Hardy.
Yeah. Where does that leave? Hobbs is out of QTV now, right?
We'll find out for his Owen Cup match.
When is his Owen match?
Owen soon.
Owen? Okay.
I think Saturday.
Ooh, collision. Owen. After that, we had our main event. Sammy Guevara and Painmaker versus Sting and Darby Allin. Oh, boy.
Painmaker, huh? It's a fun enough match.
Yeah, no, this match was super fun, man.
Yeah, it went all over the place. Sammy was just dropping springboard cutters on everybody. One in the ring, one on the floor. Most of the action happened outside the ring, but of course, even though it is a no holds barred, the fall has to happen where? In the ring.
Yeah.
So we talked about the table spot. Then Darby takes out Jericho with a suicide dive, puts him in the ring, leaps off the top of the skateboard and lands skateboard first on Jericho's back, covers, Jericho kicks out. So Jericho just starts chucking the ladder at Darby a bunch of times, sets up the top turnbuckle, tries to send Darby into it, as though Darby reverses. Jericho goes into it face first. He starts bleeding. Mm-hmm. So Darby looks for a springboard coffin drop. Instead, Jericho blasts him in the back with the skateboard, follows with a Judas effect, but Darby tumbles out of the ring. Otherwise, match is probably over. Because no one kicks out of the Judas effect.
No, man.
So then Sting gets in the ring behind Jericho, looks for a Scorpion Death Drop. Jericho reverses out to the walls of Jericho. Sting crawls to the corner, reaches for a bat, hits Jericho in the head with it. So then Sting hits the Stinger Splash, looks for another one. Instead, Jericho counters with the Code Breaker. Sting kicks out of that. Jericho looks for a Judas effect. Sting ducks it, hits Scorpion Death Drop. Jericho kicks out. So then Jericho's looking for a drop kick. Sting catches it, locks on the Scorpion Death Lock, and Jericho taps out pretty quick.
Yeah. EV here in our Twitch chat wanted to say it went past 10 p.m. 7 p.m. He says that was cool, even though it was like 2 minutes. My DVR stopped on the hour.
Oh, yeah, they didn't count for the overrun.
I just saw when Sting put him in the death drop position.
So now you know how the match ended, huh?
My imagination ran wild.
Oh yeah, how did you think it ended?
Man, I just figured Judas Effect Jericho wins, but
Dark Order joins the Jericho Appreciation Society. Huh?
Yeah, it went all sorts of fantasy book in that last 2 minutes. Stone Cold Steve Austin came out and was like, "Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thez press to Sting, fast hands. I'm joining Jericho Appreciation Society. Now it's going to be called Jericho Austin Society."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Two-man power trip there.
You got that right, you dumb son of a bitch.
Oh, I'm okay.
Hey, Dark Order, you bastards. No, that's all I got.
You want to answer some questions?
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. It's already off the rails.
All right, Stephen M. Smurf Galloway, this is a great question. We should maybe save this at the end, but we're going to kick off with it.
Good.
What wrestler needs a mustache?
Wow. Jack Perry.
Yes, first and foremost, Jungle Boy. Yes.
Jungle Boy, absolutely.
What if Sting had a mustache?
That'd be really
After
cool
all these years.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I like when he was Wolfpack Sting and he had the goatee.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was good.
But just mustache.
Luchasaurus on his mask. Big old stash. Big old Magnum PI stash.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, you know what would look good with the stash? Hobbs.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, good. Good answers. Good answers.
Guardian Ape says, given the fact that AEW just held a near 6-hour show, and of those 6 hours, only about 10 minutes were dedicated to women's wrestling, how long do you think an AEW Women's Revolution will occur, whether in story or real life? Oh, how long do you think it will be until we get like Tony Khan to realize, hey, you know what? Women's wrestling is a draw, and you should probably concentrate on it more.
Yeah. I'd like to say soon, but I don't know. I honestly don't know.
People don't change, man. I don't know that it's... Well, I don't know. Vince did. Vince really treated like the women's division like dog shit for the longest time, and then he saw the light. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll take, if he's able to sign Mercedes Moné, or if he's able to get like Bailey away from WWE, then like maybe they can convince him of that. And Daniel Bryan's apparently getting a lot of good marks for creative doing Collision. Maybe a guy like him will be like, hey, let's dedicate more time and TV time to them.
Yeah, I'd like to hope so. I really hope so. Brian Bartolo, would Bret Hart still have the same legacy without the Montreal Screwjob? We never, well, I won't say never. The odds of having bitter Bret Hart would go down drastically if the Montreal Screwjob didn't happen.
I would think that his legacy would only be improved, and he's got a really good legacy as it is. Yeah. Like, honestly, so much, like 99% of the conversation I ever see of Bret is just how good he was in the ring. You know, like I don't think the Montreal Screw, like, if he, you know, let me ask you this. So Bischoff has said that Bret was like a shell of his former self when he showed up day one. Yeah. Do you think that was directly because of the screw job? Yeah. Or was that, you didn't, you don't think that was like, I took this giant paycheck and I'm here just for the paycheck, and that's why I'm sort of like immediately phoning it in. Do you think that it was directly because of the screw job? I think initially the screw job seemingly kind of sapped his enthusiasm for professional wrestling. Yes. That could be. And so because of that, when he showed up in WCW, and this is speculation, I don't know for sure, he was like, all right, well, I'm making a huge paycheck, so. See, I've always wondered if it was that, which that could totally be, or he shows up and they tell him what the plan is, and he's like, really? And that could be part of it too. Like, it might have been, you walk into a new into a new job, into a new company, and you immediately get a read on what the morale is like, or what, like, excuse me, what the structure is like, which at that point seemed to be like nil. And, you know, Hogan's like running the place at that point. Mm-hmm. And maybe you're thinking, I just sort of like had no choice but to come here. Because if you recall, he really didn't have a choice. Like, Vince was like, can't afford you anymore. Just go take the money. Like, what is he supposed to do? No, Vince, I'll work for peanuts, and because I want to stay here. I wonder if it was just a general, and then maybe like maybe 80% of it is the screw job, because it just left such a bad taste in his mouth. Yeah. You know, an amalgam of all those things, I would imagine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ted Fila says, with the second week of Collision ratings, do you see ratings possibly dipping into the 200 to 300,000 range? No. 500, I think, will be the floor. I'm gonna say like 450 is the floor, because you do have like college football and stuff like that. But that's not far off from you, Elvin here says, if the men's Money in the Bank opens the show, how many confidence points do both of you give that Damian wins it and cashes in the same night? Excuse me. That's beginning of the end for the Judgment Day. Excuse me. I think it'd be a good idea, regardless of who wins that, if they have men's Money in the Bank ladder match early in the show, because it keeps the idea in your head. Oh, there could be a cash in later on. No, I know. I agree. Elemental Giant says, do you think AEW should have made a bigger deal about Jade's undefeated streak breaking? Yup. Yeah. We were bitching about that. They should have made a huger deal about her streak, period. I know they'd have the graphic up, but you know, how many of those wins were enhancement matches, especially after she had already won the title? It should have been a main event of a big deal. Like, it didn't need to be a pay-per-view main event, but like, certainly, how they bungled so much of Jade's creative. Yeah, no, absolutely. She should have been a massive star for that company. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Dave Matushek says, considering that Sting is nearing retirement, who should be his last opponent? I think it should be Darby. Give Darby the Sting rub.
Yeah.
And then do something with Darby after that.
Yeah. You can recreate the Shawn Michaels Ric Flair Mania match where Darby beats him and says, I'm sorry.
That'd be awesome.
I love you.
You know, it'd be kind of cool if it wasn't Darby, but you recreate the bit where Sting gives Darby the you can't win them all
Darby
thing.
gives him the look like it's over.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's okay. You're good.
Nicole here says, apart from the obvious answer, Welcome to the Jungle, what should be Jack Perry's new theme song?
It should be Life in the Fast Lane.
Oh, wow. Some Eagles?
Some Eagles, yeah. Life in the Fast Lane. That'd be so expensive.
It really would be.
That'd be stupidly expensive. Somebody said, did you say somebody said the 90210 theme song?
Oh, no. Someone in chat said that. I'm trying to think here. Trying to think.
The theme song to Hollywood Squares.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but that's good.
Neither do I, really.
Let's see here. Louise has 2 questions. What finisher name would you like to change? Also, what 50-plus-year-old deserves another world title run, if any?
What wrestler should have a finisher change?
Yeah, finisher name change.
Oh, a finisher name change.
All right, Patrick Oliva says Jungle Boy should have the Entertainment Tonight theme.
Yes! Oh, that's good.
That is good.
That's the best option.
Oh, no. Tony's got Round Ball Rock.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Entertainment Tonight works much better. Because that's Tesh also, isn't it?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it is. It's kind of similar, isn't it? It's kind of similar to the Entertainment Tonight.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
Yeah. That's definitely a Tesh original. So who needs the finishing change? Finisher move name change?
Just a name. Just a name change. Just the name change. Move is great. It's a new name.
Just because I think you can get something. So like Kota Ibushi has used the Kamigoya for a finisher, right?
Yeah.
I love the name Kamigoya because it's a beautiful, sound to come out of the mouth. But it's a brutal move.
It is.
Is there like an English language name that can have, like the Incinerator or something like that?
Face Destroyer.
Yes, that's
goodbye to your nose. I don't know.
The Face Destroyer. The Face Destroyer. That's good. I like that.
I don't know. Something like that. Like Orbital Bone Annihilation.
No.
I don't know.
No, Face Destroyer. You got it.
Face
man.
Destroyer.
I
I should have stopped at the top. Yeah.
Face Destroyer. Let's see here. Chad Knows More says, who is your favorite wrestler to have been used in a oh no, not this guy moment / match? He says, like that time WWE made everyone think Roman was going to win the Rumble again. Oh, and or like Ray came out at number 30.
Yeah.
It was like,
Daniel
what?
Bryan, yeah.
Or Batista or whatever. Oh man, and oh boy, there's been a lot of them. Not this guy. Like anytime the Miz shows up, or anytime anybody's like, oh, I got an open challenge, and it's Dolph.
Yeah.
Oh, not this guy.
Yeah.
He's like prime. Oh no, not this guy.
Ugh. Yeah, I know. Well, Miz is, but after Miz, then it's Dolph. Yeah.
Yeah, because at least with Dolph, you're gonna get some cool selling moments.
Yeah, you might get a fun match.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I think that's all I got. The stuff that we haven't covered on the show, at least.
Let's see here.
Is there one wrestler? Who's one wrestler in WWE who needs a mustache?
Yeah, we got that one. Oh, in WWE.
Yeah, I think we just mentioned AEW. What about Dolph with a mustache?
Oh, that's good. That's
like
good.
a Gallagher mustache.
You know, that'd be odd if Dolph rebranded as Gallagher.
That's
You know, he wants to be a stand-up comic.
I know.
We got a couple others here. I love this one. Who is this? Weary Kawhi says, "Why did it look like it hurt Jungle Boy to wink?" It did. He had to practice his wink. Let's see here.
And I really want Dolph to do prop comic angle.
Oh, I would love that. I would
That'd be
love
so good.
that. Yeah.
Part Carrot Top, part Gallagher.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Jonathan Vieira says, "Are Jack Perry and Austin Theory in similar boats of the crowd just not buying their personas?" Yeah, I mean, Jungle Boy's gonna have to do some work to not be Austin Theory. That's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, that's all the questions I got.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.